Hello, I'm Alicia Howerton, an employee of Cleveland Sight Center since 2010. I've also been a client of the agency for about 20 years because I have been visually impaired for about 42 years.
And I'm Tom Sawyer. I've been with the agency from 2008, helping people all over the state of Ohio who are visually impaired or blind. When interacting with people who are visually impaired or blind, there's 4 things to keep in mind. Announcing your presence when you enter their space, audio describing, using the clock method, and human-sighted guide. Now, first section is announcing your presence when coming into their space. First of all, you announce when you come in. Let them know if anybody else is with you or will be coming with you. And then let them know if you're going to leave. And then when you return, make sure you announce yourself again. So now we're going to provide a live example of what we just talked about in section 1. Hi Alicia, it's Tom.
Hi Tom, how are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Megan may be coming in just a few minutes. I'll let you know when she arrives.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to go get some water. Would you like some?
I certainly would,
Okay,
thank you.
I'm going to go now.
All right. So it is very important to let somebody who's blind or visually impaired know when you're leaving their space. That way they aren't having a conversation with themselves. And then when you re-enter their space, please let them know that as well.
Hello, Alicia. It's Tom. I'm back with the water.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm handing you the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Section 2 is audio describing. Audio describing is explaining non-verbal actions and gestures, which we all do, such as smiling, shrugging our shoulders, nodding our head in agreement or disagreement, rolling our eyes. Please let somebody know by audio describing these actions that we do, because you can't hear them. So if you are rolling your eyes at me because I'm doing something really silly, please let me know. Or you are in my space and you want to shake my hand, we're just meeting, please let me know. You're holding your hand out so that I'll know where you are so that I can shake your hand.
When talking to each other, audio describe everything, whether it's trip hazards, whether it's points of interest, whether there's people in a room. Don't use vague words like over there, straightforward, or right here, as that doesn't help. Using the clock method will help a person know where they are in the space so they know where you are back. Section 3, using the clock method. It's so important to use the clock method to help people who are blind or visually impaired know where things are in their space. The person who's visually impaired is always at 6 o'clock, and so when you talk to them, everything is from their vantage point at 6 o'clock. So whether it's food on the plate, let's say the drumstick is at 6 o'clock, the mashed potatoes with parsley and butter at 9 o'clock, the peas are at 3 o'clock, and the dinner roll is at 12 o'clock. Or if you're walking into a room and the tables are straight up ahead of you, you would say, Alicia, the tables run from 6 to 12 o'clock, and Megan is sitting at 1 o'clock.
Section 4 is human-sighted guide. What is it, and when do we provide it? So human-sighted guide is just that. It is you giving guidance to somebody who's blind or visually impaired to get from point A to point Z. Now we'll give you a live example of this. So I, of course, am the blind or visually impaired person, and Tom is going to be my guide. So it's most important to let your person that you're guiding know where you are in their space. First, Tom would introduce himself and then ask me if I need some assistance.
Alicia, this is Tom. Do you need some help?
Absolutely. Could you take me downstairs?
How would you like me to do that?
Sighted guide, please.
I'm going to put my hand on the back of your hand.
Now this is really important so that I will know where Tom is in my space. And it helps me guide my hand up to above his elbow. And this is important so that I am from his elbow to my elbow. That puts me a step behind so that he is in front because he is the guide, so that we can easily walk through a room, a narrow passage, a doorway, up and downstairs, or help me go back to where I was sitting, and I can easily, seamlessly sit in a chair. So we're going to walk through this doorway, and it's a narrow passage, so Tom will need to put his arm behind his back, and he can use audio description and say to me, we're going to be going single file. And this way, when he puts his arm behind his back, I can slide down to his wrist and hold on. Now, we're going to be going through a doorway that opens toward us from right to left. So I will want to switch my hands, so in case this door should come open, I can hold it with my other hand. Then we walk through, and then we can switch back to the other hand. Now we're going through the door, but this time it opens away from us from left to right. So I use my right hand and I hold the door open. All right. So once we're in the room and I need to go to my chair, I would have Tom put his hand on the back of the chair where I'm going to be sitting, and I can take my hand that was holding his arm to the back of the chair and then feel the chair. He can also let me know if the chair has arms or it doesn't, if it's on wheels or not, and that way I can feel the chair to see where it is so that I sit down on the chair properly. He could let me know if I'm close to the table or not, and then I could pull myself up and seamlessly sit down at our next meeting. So now when approaching stairs, remember your guide always needs to be a step ahead of you. So we're going to approach the stairs. The guide could let you know how many stairs there are, if there are rails on either side, and they would come to the bottom of the step and stop, and then you would find where that step is and possibly use the rail. All right, so your guide is going to go up, and remember, this elbow gives you information. You can feel when he goes up, so you know it's your turn to go up. And you can continue to go up. You can hold on to the rail and just seamlessly walk up the stairs. So why Human Guide is so important and doing it correctly is I have a little story to share with you. So one time Tom and I were out in the community and we were going through this little village, and he was describing the surroundings, which I love to have described to me, the trees, the architecture, and as he's describing, he fell off a curb. And because he was doing sighted guide correctly, holding his arm down, being relaxed, me with my hand above his elbow like a C, I was able to release when he fell off of the curb. I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't so funny at the time. I felt really bad. So just remember to do Human Sighted Guide properly so that both of you can stay safe. Now that we've gone over these 4 important items of announcing yourself, audio describing, the clock method, and Human Sighted Guide, we'll go through some real life scenarios of how we can empower and engage with others who are blind or visually impaired. So when talking with somebody, talk directly to them. I like to be talked directly to, not to the person next to me or through them. When you are in a situation where it is a group setting, make sure that everybody announces who they are in a manner which you'll hopefully remember. You know, it can't be all over the place. You need to go around the table. And don't forget to explain if things are going on around you. If there are people laughing, please let me know that it's not necessarily me that they're laughing at, or you hear commotion going on, or if you decide to use your phone or you're writing down something, please let me know that you're doing so I won't feel left out. I'll be included. Please help empower me to be included in things. So everything we've gone over, the 4 techniques of announcing yourself, audio describing, the clock method, and human-sighted guide, it will help you to help me or a person like me who's blind or visually impaired to be empowered and be included in all that we can do.